What it do, what it do, what it do. It's Tyrik Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. You guys are tuning in. We have an amazing interview for today, an amazing conversation we're about to get into because this is very important. We got some amazing guests in the building. We got Greg Clay, City of Atlanta Executive Director for the Mayor's Office of Constituent Services. We got Georgia Representative Eric Bell II for District 75, and Tony Terry, who is an R&B recording artist. We got some amazing guests. How y'all doing?
Good.
Awesome,
Great.
Good.
Solid, man. Yep.
Awesome. Appreciate y'all so much for coming in. So this what we got going on. We have an amazing event coming up soon. The African American Male Wellness Agency is hosting its annual Atlanta Black Men's Wellness Day on Saturday, September 14th at 7 a.m. at Morehouse College Public Health Science Institute. For the past 5 years, Black Men's Wellness Day Atlanta has been an annual event that features a 5K walk and run, health screenings for Black men, and the goal is to get as many Black men as possible to participate in free on-site health screenings, free on-site health screenings that measure their blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, HIV, STD, STI, prostate cancer, and more. This is a great initiative, guys.
It is. 100%.
Yeah.
Tyrik, man, thank you so much for having us on your platform, man. And as you mentioned, this is one of the most important days for us throughout the year, and it's an opportunity for us to come to the community and provide these screenings for, a very strong topic that we all know and is near and dear to our hearts. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I do want to know, why did you guys decide to be a part of this?
Yeah, well, I'll start, man, and certainly, Tony Terry needs no introduction. Certainly, Representative Eric Bell also. But for me, in the day-to-day work that I do in representing the city on behalf of Mayor Dickens, we're connecting with constituents all the time that are in need. Sometimes, that need is attached to a resource related to healthcare. It might be housing and a number of different things on the city service side. But this is an opportunity for all of us to come together, from the private companies to the healthcare companies, to do over 20 different type of screenings for Atlanta constituents and those from around the metro area to provide those resources. And so it was easy for me to say yes. I'm honored to be a part of a long list of honorary chairmen and chair people that have been a part of this initiative for the 5th year rocking and rolling. So we're excited about September the 14th.
That's awesome, man. What about you?
Well, I'm going to piggyback on what Brother Clay just said. It's easy. We know that we men don't go to the doctor.
That's true.
We know that we don't talk to each other much, and we suffer a lot, physically, mentally, spiritually, and to have an opportunity to have all of these screenings available to us as a community is vital. And I for one have been telling every brother that I know, all of my friends know about this, and I have challenged every single one of them to join us for this screening and for this walk. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm hoping that it starts the conversation. I really want to break the taboo of men talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just if we can just do that. We can if somebody's pride will just break down and say, I need help. Mm-hmm. I'm in trouble, or whatever it is that we promote and get that dialogue started.
Mm-hmm. About you,
so I'm in 100%.
For
me, it was easy. It was a family thing for me. When you look at Black men, or you just look at families, you see the need for health screenings. You see you look around and you see auntie this, big mama that, but where's uncle? Where's the grandpa? Usually he died from a preventable disease, specifically in my family, heart disease, diabetes, or just things that are preventable. And you wondering why there aren't things or legacies in Black communities, because we're perishing from our health. Yeah. Honestly, we're not talking about it. We're not going to get preventable treatment for it or just checkups.
No, that's definitely very important, and it is sad that we're dealing with this, and I gotta see it as a crisis. Like
I do too.
Yeah, because we're not taking our health seriously like we should. And just like you said, Eric, like I've had family members that have unfortunately passed away from various diseases and stuff, and it's sad. Mm-hmm. Stuff that could have been prevented,
Absolutely.
as long as we just would have said something about the first time we felt something hurting or something we thought something was wrong or something unusual. Gotta say something and go to the doctor.
And more water.
That's true.
the water intake
a lot of people drinking beers and Pepsis, and
Right.
nah, we gotta get some water in our system.
Right.
It's
It's
true.
true.
How many people don't drink water? I was at the dry cleaners, and a young lady told me she was only a couple years older than me. I'm 33. She might have been 38, and she was telling me she's a full-blown diabetic because she didn't drink water for 2 years.
Wow.
And you're thinking, what are wrong with people? But they honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. I lost my father to heart disease.
Really?
And obviously it was preventable. But I think that old school way of thinking about doing whatever you want, not exercise. I vowed to myself after learning that my father's condition was so severe that that wouldn't happen to me. I'm going to do the things that I need to do to take care of myself: exercise, eat well, stay spiritually grounded as much as possible. I'm in the entertainment business, so sometimes that can be a challenge. But my mind is made up to do what I can to not only make sure that I'm okay, but to make sure that my team is okay. When I go to the gym, I insist that the people that I work with, they have to exercise too. We all have to be in shape. We all have to be mentally, physically ready for the challenge of what we do.
Yeah, no, that's definitely important. And one thing that I noticed about this event, right? We're talking about Black men's health, Black men's wellness, and you guys are having it at Morehouse, which is an HBCU. I feel like that was intentional.
Yeah.
So why did you guys decide on Morehouse?
Yeah, well, shout out to the FAMU Rattlers, man. That's out there listening as well. To FAMU myself. But, Morehouse, the whole AUC, right? It's the epicenter of, the culture in a sense. Not just for Atlanta, but a lot of, eyes are on, Atlanta when we think of just the infrastructure that we've had here for years upon years. And to bring this type of effort, we're talking specifically about Black men from our community to Morehouse, is symbolic. And Morehouse, the School of Medicine and the school, they've been tremendous partners as well. We were at one of our faith leaders institutions last year, but to bring it to, Morehouse's campus, it's symbolic in a number of different ways, and it speaks to the type of partnerships that we're building, not just for this moment or for this day on Saturday, September the 14th, but for the duration. 365, we need to be really leaning in on, who's at the table to talk about. The mayor talks about Atlanta being a group project oftentimes.
Yeah.
Who's at this group project table when we think about health and wellness? And Morehouse has been one of those really anchor partners that's helping us really make the day special.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. So this is definitely going to be exciting. And I see y'all also, not only are y'all doing the health screenings, but y'all got some other stuff. Y'all going to have Freddie Falcon out there. Falcon season's about to get started, of course. You're going to have kid vendors, a kid DJ, a dance competition. Shoot, if I show up, y'all can get dusted in that. Y'all got face painting, and y'all got some other stuff. So I love it because it's not only, it's serious about health screening, but it's also kind of like a community day, where Atlanta can come out, have a good time, and they also take their health serious.
Absolutely.
Well, our people got to have fun. You
Yeah,
gotta have fun.
Got to
So
tap
we're
some
gonna
fun to
sprinkle
it.
Yeah, one thing I know our people like, we like fun and food.
So we put those together with health, and it's a perfect culmination for a great time, a great event, and most of all, a great time to spread awareness about what's going on in our communities and health specifically.
Yeah.
And if you take into consideration that our children watch what our parents do, what their parents do, and they see their dads taking the initiative to take care of themselves or get screened, we want to instill in our youth, that how important it is, because it really should, as children, we should be fed this information, and we should be encouraging even our children, our families, to make sure that our children are well. Because it starts really early. We fall into these patterns and these habits, and of course, the older we get, the harder it is to break.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think that the awareness of it for the children is very important, and the fact that we have this kid zone that's going to be fun for the kids, and again, they can participate while dad is going to get checked out, and so the fact that it's a family day, I think is crucial, because it really, at the end of the day, is about family.
Yeah. And we also have events for ladies. There are going to be breast cancer screenings as well for ladies. Okay. So it's not just Black men can come. For women, moms, aunts, there's something there for that you can do too as well.
Perfect.
And there's a farmer's market for let's say fresh produce that'll be provided to families as well. So that's a part of the add-on, in addition to all the the fun that folks are gonna be having.
Which is one of the parts I'm looking forward to, the farmers market.
Now, this is great. So there should literally be no reason why people
To
not
not
coming
to come.
out.
We got something for all the ages.
Yeah, and it's free. So, I mean, you might as well go ahead and make it out, and it could possibly save your life, which is one thing I like. And I appreciate this because those of y'all who know me know I like gifts. And y'all bought me a gift. Y'all bought me a wristband, Saving Black Men's Lives. I love this. That's what this wristband says. And so what I want to know is, since you guys have been doing this for quite a while, do y'all know personally of any testimonies where, you know, maybe there was a man who came and let's say he got tested, maybe he found something and it was caught early and it was able to save his life. Any past testimonies y'all can share?
You know, I'll even say, you know, as a part of even my participation, my own personal testimony and journey and getting to know some of the ambassadors that have been working with us at the table for this year, particularly with trying to get your blood pressure right. You know, my cholesterol is in an interesting space. And so being transparent with my brothers at the table, you know, it's been one of those things when we start to talk about these things, as, you know, Tony mentioned, you know, there's this conversation that we can have amongst ourselves, but this accountability that we have for each other too. And so my own personal journey around health and making sure that, you know, my community knows has been a part of my own walk and talk as a part of, you know, signing up to be the honorary chair. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I think we've all been guilty of just kind of being, you know, an island. You know what I mean? Just not sharing. You know, oftentimes our pride will keep us from speaking.
And I think by you guys having this, it'll actually teach men to, like you were talking about, having the conversations and having conversations, but also just speaking up about if something is wrong, you know, and going to the doctor. Why don't men go to the doctor? What's the problem?
We scared.
I mean, I switched up my doctor. I got a brother that's a doctor now. In a conversation, you know how you just go for your annual checkups, right? The conversation pivoted like almost immediately because I felt that I could be more transparent with, you know, him being in the room. And I mean, he's seeing all of my, you know, blood work just like my previous doctors, but there's this different type of conversation. And so you don't have to have a, you know, brother that's a doctor, but that is a part of, you know, my own personal journey as it relates to just everything that I'm talking about more frequently in the space.
Mine
So,
too. I actually feel more comfortable being with a brother, a black doctor, and more at ease about talking about what's going on in my life and in my body. You know, I just do.
And some of the issues, it's just not normal for, I guess, black men to talk about health or what's going on in their lives. I think a lot of times in our communities, we build up a vibrato or shell around ourselves where we have to look or speak or perform in a manner where nothing's going wrong with us. And maybe that's a good thing, and maybe in some instances a bad thing. But the more and more we can talk about it, especially at younger ages. I know for myself, maybe about a year ago, I had a little scare with having high blood sugar. I'm a man who likes ice cream, or
Same.
chocolates, candy,
I get
cookies, pancakes. Maybe
I'm
I
guilty.
just like to eat. I don't know. But those specifically now, me in my lower 30s, having to check on things like that you didn't have to look at when you were in your 20s. And I still feel that I'm a young man and want to live a healthy life and a long life. I at least want to get another 60 years out of myself. But we got to start now looking at those things and your water intake and watching how much you're ingesting, whether that's pork or whether that's carbohydrates, eating too many peanut butter jelly sandwiches. It's just something that we got to start doing.
Yeah.
And Tyrik, if I can add, man, the reason why these conversations that build to relationships are so important because it really lays groundwork for the facts to be present, right? Like there's a fact that black men are 12 to 20 years living less years than their counterparts. Like 12 to 20 years knocked off of your life if you are a brother, right? Just based off of kind of our habits. And so that's a fact. And so the same way we talk intentionally about, you know, how much money we bring at home or where we live in or what we doing for the weekend, you know, with these relationships and with the work of this organization, now being able to talk about the facts in a different way to say, you know, once you hear it and it's real, you know, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. right? Like it is what it is. Now it's up to us to really talk about how we lean into that. And these days or these opportunities, like Black Men's Wellness Days, opportunities to lean in Atlanta for sure.
When you know better, you do better.
100%.
Absolutely.
Supposedly.
Yeah, and speaking of doing better, you were talking about food and stuff. I think a problem that we have now is we're not eating right like we should.
Oh yeah.
I found there to be a lot of food deserts in this city. You know, like areas where there's all the things that we need are just not easily available
In our community.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yep. And we talked about that from from the private companies that say, hey, we're willing to come into, this side of town, or we're not willing to. I mean, even, during our short time, in administration, when we opened back up a Walmart in Vine City that was once a food desert. Once it shut down, now families are able to, students are even able to walk in there and get some fresh produce. And so that intentionality around what food is available and how we're consuming it on a daily or weekly basis, you're right, Tony Terry. I mean, it's a big deal when you you just don't have it in front of you.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even mind if we had more or any community gardens.
Yeah,
Nice.
Where the neighborhoods participate and then get to reap the benefits of their work. I think that could make a big difference in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
One good thing I think I'm starting to see this happening in the communities is the Atlanta Community Food Bank. They're starting to build outposts where in individual communities they have fresh food, fresh produce that individuals can go and it looks just like a supermarket, and they can go and shop and get their cabbages and get their onions and their tomatoes and apples just as if they were at a regular store, and it helps eliminate those food deserts. So I know there's one in my district in Jonesboro. There's another one in the west side, the west parts of Atlanta, I think in Douglasville. And it's really beautiful to see, though, when you have public and private partnerships, what they can do and provide for communities.
Yeah. So, Tyrik, we need a plug, man. I hope y'all, the listeners, man, they got a plug for us, man.
Of course.
Plug us into these markets.
Yeah, man. That's I'm glad you guys mentioned that because, a lot of people might not know that that's a problem, and so now the people listening, we can step in and do something about it. But yeah, this is definitely very important. Gotta take the health seriously, man. That's what it's all about. And I want to ask you this specific, and it's especially for you because you're a representative, right? But this November we have a big election coming up, and y'all feel free to speak to this if you guys want to. But health is on the ballot this November. Why? Tell me, when voters head to the polls this November, what do you think are like the most important issues regarding health they need to consider when they're voting?
One thing I think they need to consider is healthcare costs, because the amount that an individual spends on their healthcare costs cuts into the amount they can spend on food, the amount they can spend on their mortgage or their rent, the amount they can spend on education costs, and the amount they can spend on transportation. So if we can with the voting for an administration that can lower the cost of insulin, that can cap the cost of procedures or cost of other medications, that looks like your mother, your father, or yourself having extra money to, let's just be frank, go to the movies, or extra money to get those new shoes. We all like white Air Force Ones, or even that extra money it takes to pay their light bill instead of paying for dialysis or paying for high blood pressure medication. And that's what it looks like. And also it looks like, since we're talking about health, mental health. I don't know about you guys, but I was stressed out during the first Trump administration. And mental health and stress causes deterioration in your physical health, whether that's stress on your heart, your lungs, wherever it causes, and that comes out in you. So I think we need an administration that can heal America, that will cause less stress on majority of Americans, that will lead to not only a financial stability in America, but a familial stability in America.
Yeah, mental health is important. You talked about stress. I know people who have stressed and they have ended up having a health issue because they're stressing. It is important to be at peace. Peace is really important. And my pastor always says, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. And that's important because if you're stressed, I know people who have stressed, they ended up having cancer, or somebody recently who had a heart attack because they were stressing, over little stuff, and we can't stress. We got to be at peace.
And that's really crucial. what I do for a living is highly stressful, and I find that exercising has helped tremendously. But I'm under a tremendous amount of stress, and sometimes it's difficult to just shake it off. You know what I mean? Just by nature of who we are, we just take that on, and again, we don't talk about it. We don't share it with people. We just kind of deal with it, and then it compounds and just stacks up, and then.
Or Tony, people say, just be strong, my brother.
Yeah. Just be strong.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yep.
I say this to that. I'm half my mama. She was very, very strong, but she was very emotional. She carried a lot. So did my father in terms of making sure that we all had what we needed. And I think that carrying that load obviously affected the quality of their lives, especially towards the end of their lives. And I believe that both my parents would still be with us today had the level of stress been reduced, or at least the way they dealt with it.
Yeah. And that's why, Tyrik, I mean, we talk about this beautiful day that's going to happen on Saturday, September the 14th, but this conversation that we can have for the other 364 days, specifically here in Atlanta with the African American Male Wellness Agency, to say, okay, where are we going to decompress when we think about our mental health? Who are the subject matter experts that we need to convene to talk about our physical health or even our spiritual health? Like who is at that table for that group project that speak to in Atlanta as one of these markets where a lot of this investment is happening? Not that other cities aren't important, but when we think about home base, how are we coming together on a daily basis that says, if somebody's sitting at home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon with nobody to call, I remember hearing or seeing something on a Saturday, where can I go? Who can I turn to? And I think that's really important. Or even your listeners, Folk might inbox you and say, yeah, Tyrik, man, I remember that conversation. Like, who are those brothers? That type of thing. And so that's why we're grateful for you having us here today as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I like that you guys are here because our audience is Black. Black people and stuff, Black Information Network. So this is very crucial, very important that people get out, come to this event. And I do want to ask you about the event. Do you guys starts at 7 a.m. September 14th? What's the layout looking like as far as events throughout the day and stuff?
Yeah, so it starts with that run walk, so not only coming out for those screenings, folks, making sure you get out there, put the sneakers on, you ain't got to run for the best time. I'm going to be out there sprinting with Eric, what I mean? Try to get me some type of place or something. But, even if you just want to come out and it's a family affair, throw on the sneakers, the weather should be phenomenal. And then after we sunset the race, we'll go immediately into, the screenings. Folks will be out there all day. And so, for most of the day, we'll have, again, food and other, fun things that are happening. But if you can, make it on the top of the day because we love to see you. Yeah, start your day off. And if you got to make, run some errands or something like that, you're able to get it out the way. Come with us, and have a few screenings and then, tell a friend too. So don't just come by yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Come with a carload full of people.
And just to shine the light again on some of the screenings that will be available, blood pressure, diabetes, height, weight management, cholesterol, HIV, Hep C, and many, many others. And I think that, again, we got to do this. If you don't take care of yourself, ain't nobody going to take care of you.
Yeah.
And if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your family.
Yeah.
If you're not well, you're not well.
And the man is the center of the family. And brothers, we perishing early. I think, Greg, you said earlier, 12 to 20 years. And again, from preventable diseases and obesity, liver failure, kidney failure, just things you can get done if you just go to the doctor. And I understand that it's sometimes you're in a situation where your bank account doesn't go as far to let you go to a doctor annually or quarterly like you would like to. So here we have an event for you that you can get over $10,000 worth of free medical screenings. So make sure you're there. Make sure your listeners are there September 14th. Like Greg said, we starting early. Come stretch with us before you run. I don't know if I'm going to get a medal, but it'll be nice to think I will. It's going to be a good time.
Definitely, guys. Definitely appreciate y'all so much for coming in and talk to us about this. And I do want to ask you this before we go, because I know there are, of course, a lot of people have health screenings and stuff, but what separates you guys from the other screenings?
Well, it's being able to do it. And Tyrik, that's an awesome question. It's being able to do this all in one day with almost $10,000 worth of services being provided to the individual. You can go and, do certain tests in other places and spaces, but to come to one place at this scale with all of these professionals and subject matter experts and practitioners present, I mean, that really makes us very unique around other activities. Now, in Atlanta, we know that there are a lot of health fairs and things that happen. But this is, one of those marquee opportunities to, if you miss one somewhere else, right, you can come back, you can finish up here with Black Men's Wellness Day on Saturday, September the 14th. But that's something that really makes us unique. In addition to that, this year-round focus too. We want to really, really own the conversation here in the Atlanta market around how we talk about health and wellness from all the aspects that we've mentioned in this conversation year-round, because we know that, we seeing things all 4 seasons, and so in the winter, summer, fall, spring, like what do those things look like for us, especially Black men and our families?
And I know that other cities do these kinds of things, but one of the main things that separates us from them is that they're not Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They not ATL.
They're not the A. You know
They're
what
not
I mean?
the A.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Got to put the ATL back, man. Yeah, ATL all day long.
But then also, as the resident Morehouse man, I think they gave us our accolades earlier. Shout out to the class of 13. Go Tigers. You have that legacy of the epitome of a Black man. So not only are we here building Black men mentally, spiritually, academically, we have Black Men's Wellness Day in what now we known as Mecca, at the only institution in the world that's meant to build African American men of African descent, and we're doing Black Men Wellness Day there. So it's like the perfect culmination of Black power.
Fantastic. This is good stuff, y'all. Yeah, man. Kudos to y'all for putting this together. Congratulations on you guys have continued this thing. It's ongoing. I love it. I know a lot of people in the city will benefit from this, and this is going to be great. And before we go, I gotta ask one thing. I see a lot of things going on. You got the dance competition and the kid vendors and all that stuff. Are we getting a Tony Terry performance too? I mean, come on.
You never know. You'll have to come and see. Okay. I might jump up on stage and do a song or two.
Yeah. Give us a little something. Yeah, but appreciate you guys so much for coming in. This was fantastic. You guys did an amazing job. Kudos to y'all on putting this initiative together. And ATL, make sure y'all come out. Black Men's Wellness Day, Saturday, September 14th at 7 a.m. at Morehouse College. Get up bright and early. Get out there, do that stretching, get that 5K walking, running, and all that good stuff, and enjoy the rest of the day. It's happening from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturday, September 14th. Morehouse College. Make sure y'all are there. Yes.
Before we wrap up, just a shout out to all our volunteers, Keith, Ladre, Audrey, who lead the team here locally in Atlanta. We got a lot of people that help to make this happen, man. Just shout out to y'all and keeping us 3 in line and making sure we get opportunities like this to amplify their work too.
And our fellow ambasors.
100% our ambassadors as well.
Y'all got a lot of them. Yeah, I was looking at y'all's list. I was like, okay.
Going strong.
Yeah, but yeah, this was great. Thank you guys so much once again for coming, and see y'all on the 14th. Peace out.